What if I told you that people only realize your value when you are no longer there? That they only see the weight of your presence in the void you leave behind? Isn't it strange how loss sharpens vision, how the very people who took you for granted suddenly awaken to what they had only when it's gone? This is not about revenge. This is not about bitterness. This is about power, your power. And the lesson here is as old as time itself. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." We are not here to dwell in resentment. We are here to master ourselves, to become the men they remember, the men they regret losing, the men who walk away, not in anger, but in absolute control. So tell me, are you ready to embody true Stoic power? Number 1, the reality of loss. We live in a world where presence is often taken for granted. People assume that we will always be there, always available, always willing to give, to sacrifice, to endure. And yet, when we finally walk away, when we remove our energy, our time, our essence, it is only then that the absence is felt, like a blade through the soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True strength does not come from forcing someone to see your worth. True strength is knowing your worth, walking away, and letting time carve the truth into their soul. Number 2, the Stoic response, self-control. A lesser man will rage. A lesser man will try to prove himself, to beg for acknowledgement, to demand recognition. But we are not lesser men. We are Stoics. We are warriors of the mind, architects of discipline. Epictetus taught us, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. They lost you. That is their lesson to learn, not yours to teach. Your duty is not to convince anyone of your worth. Your duty is to be, to exist in the fullness of your own strength, indifferent to praise, indifferent to loss. And that indifference, that silence, it is deafening. Number 3, the power of absence. Imagine this, the one who dismissed you, the one who saw you as ordinary, now sits in the echo of your absence. The moments they once ignored now haunt them. The words you once spoke now ring louder than ever. And yet, you are gone. Because you are not a man who lingers in the past. You are not a man who waits for validation. You are not a man who seeks revenge through words, but rather through transformation. Nietzsche wrote, "To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering." The pain of loss is not ours to bear. It belongs to those who underestimated our value. We do not suffer. We evolve. We rise. We walk forward. Number 4, the journey forward. If you find yourself in this position, do not ask, "How can I make them see what they lost?" Ask instead, "How can I make myself so great that regret is their only companion?" Growth is our vengeance. Mastery is our answer. Resilience is our destiny. Seneca warned us, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Do not waste another second in sorrow. Forge yourself anew. Build a life so undeniable that their loss becomes your triumph. Now I ask you, have you ever felt the sting of being taken for granted? What did you do? Did you shrink or did you rise? Comment below, share your story. Let's create a movement of men who do not beg to be seen, but rather become so great they can never be forgotten. The choice is yours. Will you be the man they regret losing, or the man who never needed their approval in the first place? Walk with strength, move with purpose, and never, never let the world define your worth. Because the greatest power is knowing when to walk away.